You're the only friend I need. You're the only friend I need. Sharing beds like little kids. And laugh until our ribs get tall. But that will never be enough. That will never be enough.
My favorite type of social media is Facebook.
Instagram and Facebook.
Facebook.
Instagram.
I use it every day to look up the news and to see what my friends are doing.
Keeping up with people.
So I can stay in touch with all my friends and family around the nation.
Connect with my family and to post pictures that are artsy.
Probably a couple hours a day in my free time.
I'm probably on social media about an hour to an hour and a half every day.
Yeah, absolutely. I follow ESPN on Twitter, and I follow CNN on Twitter.
Yeah. And I get news updates from CNN and on Facebook. I do. Yeah. I follow New York Times. I get their updates. I have CNN updates pop up on my computer every day. I like to know what's going on in the world.
And there's times when I'll use it to keep updated with like recent news, but I normally just use it to keep updated with friends and family.
Yes, political news.
For several years, online blogs and social media have been increasingly important tools used by activists in Egypt, a country with 5 million Facebook users. In 2008, for example, the April 6 youth movement used Facebook to gather supporters and raise awareness for striking workers. More recently, that page and others called on Egyptians to take to the streets on January 25th, the first day of protests. In Cairo last week, Gamila Ismail, a prominent activist, told Margaret Warner she believes that social media was a spark to many who'd been reluctant to join past protests.
Yeah, I use it to campaign a lot for my sorority events and like anything I'm involved with on campus.
Just like the printing press enabled us to get from agrarian feudal society to industrial capitalism, we have a new communications medium that's creating an opportunity to reinvent the world.
Opportunity to communicate to more people faster and further than ever before. With social tools like Twitter and Facebook, and thousands of sites devoted to issues and causes, like-minded individuals are hooking up about everything from global warming to saving their local pub. And it's revolutionizing how activists organize.
Suddenly, we have these platforms and tools and technologies that have given rise to the ability for anybody to congregate, create groups, activism, passion. And so, yeah, you are seeing a huge surge in activism.
It's a lot easier to get momentum around things, especially in a short period of time. And a lot of that communication is free or very close to free, right? So I'm not doing massive mail-outs, or I'm not sending people door to door to door. Socially aware organizations or groups can actually be much more targeted because it's a lot easier to find the niche people now.
It's changed everything. It's completely changed the game. I think one of the best parts about social media is that it's not just about one-way communication between me and you. It's about everybody having this giant conversation together. And how that's changed activism is really gotten people who might have only been tangentially involved or maybe cared about an issue, get involved with causes, and figured out ways that they can actually participate through this giant conversation that's happening.
It's really bringing the world closer together, I think, and empowering people. There's a whole big world out there that we need to start paying more attention to, because it's not just all about us anymore.
getting